Hey everybody, Cedric here with Crew. This is the Honor 20, one of Honor's flagship phones for 2019. Now before we begin, I want to say thank you to Honor and XDA developers for sending over the device for me to review. On the front, the Honor 20 features a 6.26-inch IPS LCD display with a punch hole for the 32-megapixel front-facing camera. While sadly it's not an OLED display, it still manages to produce a vivid and sharp outcome. Moving on to the bottom side, we have a microphone, a USB Type-C port, and a single down-firing speaker. Unfortunately, the Honor 20 does not have headphone jack support. On the right side of the phone, Honor has placed the volume rockers and the power button, which also doubles as a fingerprint scanner, a design choice that I've really come to like, since while using the phone, my thumb naturally rests there anyways. On the top of the phone, we can spot another mic, the earpiece grill with a notification LED underneath, and an infrared port. Finally, the back sports a beautiful glass panel with what Honor calls a holographic display. Honor sent me the midnight black version to review, but there's also a sapphire blue version available. On the top left corner, we have an array of 4 camera sensors. The primary camera is powered by a 48-megapixel Sony IMX586 sensor that can record up to 4K 30fps video. Below it we have a 16-megapixel wide-angle sensor, a 2-megapixel depth assist sensor, and finally, an interesting twist, a 2-megapixel macro camera. The Honor 20 runs Android Pie with Honor's Magic UI skin, which is powered under the hood by Huawei's top-tier SoC, the Kirin 980, along with 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of built-in storage, and that's all backed up by a 3750 mAh battery. Inside the box, we also find a silicon case, a headphone jack adapter, a USB cable, and a 22.5 watt supercharger that can charge the device up to 50% in 30 minutes. Moving on to build quality, the Honor 20 feels well made and has a premium feel in the hand as is expected from a flagship device. Battery life seems to serve my daily smartphone use very well. I usually end the day with over 40% even with medium to heavy use. I will however hold out until my full review to more accurately measure average screen on time. For you mobile gamers out there, the Honor 20 is powered by a Mali G76 GPU, so it easily manages to play recent games at decent frame rates as you'd expect from a phone in its category. On the audio department, I haven't really been able to extensively test Honor's audio enhancements yet, but the single down-firing speaker does manage to get reasonably loud without too much distortion. Now on the software side, I personally prefer a near-stock Android experience, like Oxygen OS, and I initially found Magic UI to feel slightly bloated. However, after disabling, tweaking, and uninstalling some things, and changing my default launcher, I found that the user experience is quite decent. Let's move on to the Honor 20's camera, its crown feature. Now this is a big chapter that I intend to fully address in my complete review, so keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, I was able to shoot a couple of pictures and videos with the device, mostly with its AI features enabled, which seem to enhance the camera's performance in most scenarios, especially in low light, producing clear and detailed shots. As great as the Honor 20 is, in my brief time using it, I did come across a few weak spots. The software still has a couple of minor glitches, like the recents panel not appearing sometimes and some graphic glitches in Facebook Messenger. Phone calls are crisp on the Honor 20 and the earpiece can get quite loud. However, I had a friend once complain that she heard an echo of herself through my side. Another thing that I found slightly off is the fact that while the device does have an IR blaster, I couldn't find any app on the Play Store, or pre-installed for that matter, that could make use of it. Finally, something that I would like to see Honor implement is a system-wide dark mode, which is something that Huawei has already shipped on previous devices. All of these things can hopefully be addressed by Honor in a future software update. The Honor 20 will soon be launched globally for a price close to 500 euros. However, if you're interested in purchasing it, you should be warned that due to recent developments in the trade war between the US and China, Huawei is facing challenges concerning the support and updating of their devices, so it might be worth waiting for a while to see how this story goes and then decide on it. So this has been it for my first impressions on the Honor 20. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.